Ciao and welcome! I'm Giulia and today's class is really interesting. Are you ready to start? Let's go! Today we talk about culling and selecting your images after a shoot. If you're like me, then after a shoot you end up with so many images and it's hard to remember which ones are the good ones, which ones need to be rejected and discarded. So how do we do this without losing our minds, without spending hours and days on the computer? Because I have been there. Sometimes the images are so many that you just, oh my God. So Lightroom is your answer. So in Lightroom, you can use flags, colors, and stars as filters, and you can apply these filters to your images so you can quickly select the good ones and reject the bad ones. This will help you speed up your workflow as well as make sure that you have all the good images maybe ranked with the stars. I will show you how to do it so that you know which images are good, which images are great, and which images are, oh my God, portfolio stuff. So you can do all of this in Lightroom. It's very easy. You can use shortcuts on your keyboard to, again, speed up your workflow. Speed is our keyword here. So let's go into Lightroom and have a look at how to do this. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom, and as you can see from this session of the panna cotta, we ended up with 56 images. Mamma mia, that is a lot of data. Not only is this gonna take space on your hard drive, because basically what we want from this session is maybe like 3 or 4 final images, and having 56 raw files in your hard drive, it's gonna take up a lot of space with photos like this one that you don't really need, because then you have bam, stuff like this. So being able to select and cull your images and reject the bad ones so you can delete them from your hard drive, it's gonna save you so much space and therefore money, because obviously the more space you need, the more hard drives you're gonna need to buy, and and the more money you're gonna need to spend. So how do we select the good images from the bad images? Down below here, you can see on this bar, there are filters. These are your really good friends. So we have flags, flag, unflagged, and rejected. So these are the 3 main flags. Then we have stars. They go from 1 star to 5 stars. And then we have all the colors. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7 colors that we can use to catalog and organize our library. So there are a few ways that you can do this. Personally, the way I do it is I go through my entire shoot one first time, and I just divide the selects from the rejects, and then I go through the selects and I assign them stars. Generally, the lower the number of stars, the worst quality the picture, and I give 5 stars to the pictures that are the best pictures. Maybe medium pictures get 3 stars, and like meh pictures get 1 star. Or you can use colors. So like, for example, all the green pictures are part of a series, or like all the blue pictures are the pictures with hands, or like all the purple ones are ones with action. So that gives you a good way on how you can divide and categorize the images from the same shoot. So now, there are shortcuts on your keyboard that you can use to, again, speed up your workflow, because as you press your arrows to go through the images like this quickly, then you can use keyboards on your keys on your keyboard to either select or reject. For example, the P as a pick on your keyboard will set that image with, it will give you a pick flag, which means now for example, I have picked this image. And if I click on the filter and I ask Lightroom to only show me the picked images, ta-da, that's the only one that appears. So you can go through your entire gallery here and just click pick on your picks, or you can click X to set that image as a reject, which means when you apply the filter, the rejected images will not appear unless you want to only see the rejected images, in which case you will press the rejected flag here in the filter bar. If you don't want to see any filter at all, just deselect all of these. So as you go through your image gallery, for example, this one is overexposed, so I've rejected it. This one could be okay. This one again is overexposed, so I'm going to reject it. This one is a little better in terms of like the angle of the camera, as you can see. So maybe I will pick that one. And this one is even better than the previous. Well, not really. I don't like this one, so I will reject it. This one's got nice hands, so I will pick it. This one, I already gave it 5 stars, so I will pick this one. And then I prefer this one to this one. This one is not as good, so reject. And again, you can see here the spoons are like slightly moving, and it's easy straight away for you to see which composition you like best, so that you can reject the one you don't like and pick the one you like, and so on and so forth. So you basically move. For example, this one's got my arm in it, which means that's automatically a reject, and so on and so forth, because obviously in food photography you end up tweaking things a little bit. For example, here I removed the modifier, the diffuser, from my artificial light setup. So obviously this image is not good enough. It's got a huge shadow here that I don't really know what it is. So this one is automatically a reject. Because here obviously I was adjusting the light, which means some of these are not good, and so on and so forth. This one is completely underexposed, so rejected. Very underexposed, so again rejected. So you can see it's normal to have a ton of pictures to go through. This one, the hand is covering that, so reject. This one is a little bit better. This one in, so you know, this way you can kind of like go through. This one is the best one, so I'm gonna pick this one and probably reject all the previous ones. You can see how fast it is for me to go through the gallery and just pick what images are looking good. This one's good, pick. And as we said here, for example, with action shots, this one is not good. There's nothing happening here. There's no action, so I'm going to reject this. This one, okay, it's not the best looking drop. So, and this one again, there's nothing really happening, so I will reject that one, reject this one. This one is a better drop than this one, so I will reject this and keep this. But then let's have a look. This one is ugly, so reject. This one, nothing's happening. And I have this shot. This was already edited, but you can see that this is the best action compared to, for example, this one. So I'm going to reject this one and only select and pick this one, which has got the best action. Now, after you've gone through your whole shoot, basically, what you can do is come here to the filter bar and just click on the selected pictures. These are all the pictures that I have flagged with a white flag, which means these are my selects, my final selects. And as you can see, there's like only 7 now instead of 56. So it's a lot more manageable in terms of both editing and for you to then go on to select your final picture that's gonna make it to your portfolio, or that you're going to deliver to your client, or that's gonna end up on your Instagram. That is something else you can do, for example. So like if my client wanted an image with hands, I am going to mark this with 5 stars. That means client picture, or like portfolio picture. So that means the best one. And this one also got 5 stars because it's a very nice action shot right here. And this one also gets 5 stars because it's a slightly different version of this, as in this one's got hands, this one doesn't have any hands. So these are 2 different pictures and they both get top marks. Then what you can do is you can again filter here for 5-star pictures. And as you can see, only the pictures that you marked with 5 stars appear. And if you remove the filter, here they are, all of them again. And then what you can do, for example, is this one is good, but the hands are not as good as this one or this one, in my opinion. Again, this is all subjective. But for example, this one, I can give it a green filter, and that's, you apply that the green color by pressing 8 on your keyboard. So numbers from 1 to 5 will mark the picture with a star. So 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. And then the numbers, and then 0 to remove all the stars. And then numbers from 6 to 9 will mark the picture with colors. So 6 is red, 7 is yellow, 8 is green, 9 is blue, and so on and so forth. So then if that picture is marked as blue, then you know that in your workflow, if you decide that all the blue pictures, for example, are the pictures that you're going to post on Instagram, then the only thing you need to do is go into your sessions here, click on the blue filter, and you will automatically only see the pictures that are good enough for Instagram or Pinterest or whatever you wanna. Maybe the blue can be, or the purple can be Instagram, and like the red can be Pinterest, and the blue can be Facebook. You need to decide a filter system that works for you. This is what I use. I first do a pick and reject, just to cull the majority of the images. Then I go through my selected picked images again to assign them stars from meh to wow. And then I give them colors to remind myself which images are good for what. So for example, I usually do green is my client work. So the images that are marked with a green frame around them, those are my client pictures. So the pictures that I will eventually deliver to my client after all the editing is done and everything. While the blue pictures are for my own personal social media channels and my portfolio as well. So this is how I get the selects. Now, how do you get rid of the rejected pictures? Because as you can see here, on the left, we still have 56 pictures in our folder, and we don't want that. So instead of now asking Lightroom to show us all the picked images, we remove that filter and we ask it to only show us the pictures that we rejected. So these are all the ugly pictures that we don't want. So we can get rid of them, delete them to save space on our hard drives and also to have less clutter. So the way you do this, you can, on your keyboard, press the delete button. The delete key will prop this window, remove photos from Lightroom catalog. Now, if you only remove them from Lightroom, that's fine, but you will still have the raw files on your disk. So they will still take up space. What you really want to do here is delete from disk. Now, this is like drastic. So if you delete them from disk, it's quite a drastic move. So make sure that you have backed up the selects and make sure that these are really the images that you want to delete. because if they're images, so like if you have images that you're not too sure about, it's like as in you don't want to delete them, but they're not selects either. What I do is I just don't flag them at all. So I will leave them unflagged, which means these are images that I still want to keep, but they're not selects. And why do I do this? Because sometimes when I find myself editing, or after a few months or years or whatever, I want to go back and change that image, I need pieces from another image and stuff, then these are my second choices basically. So I can always come back and find these. I will set the flag to reject only for the images that I am absolutely sure I really don't want and I really want to get rid of to save disk space. So you press the delete key and then you go delete from disk, if that's what you want to do, so that you can basically save space on your hard drive. And that's it. This is really gonna save you a lot of time and a lot of effort. So that's all for today. Hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Ciao!